Here we go. Hello. Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Crossroads. Don't forget, if you've got any kind of like messages for us, put them in the right hand column, and also anybody on the radio, please leave the messages in the message box as usual. Okay, I want to talk today. I talked to somebody the other day as well about banning mobile phones in schools, and that's anywhere in the world really, because what's been happening is that um, they say the authorities, school authorities, actually saying like if a child uses their phone in school, they're not actually being taught; they're just on their mobile phones all the time. And plus, on the other side, someone saying, well, what happens if emergency or if the parents are too late to pick the children up? So I want to get to, you know, two perspectives here. So, what do you think about banning mobile phones in schools?
That could be a complicated issue. I would think probably the best option is if your kid does have a mobile phone, maybe let them bring it to school, but have it switched off. Have it in their pack sack or somewhere easily accessible if there's like an emergency, if there's a hurricane or a school shooting or who knows what could happen. But it should be powered off unless they do need it for some kind of reason that may be unforeseen. But they shouldn't be playing with it during school time. They should have it put away out of sight. That's probably the
Yeah.
best option.
The trouble is, though, Sean, they are kind of like the the children now are kind of like it's happening all over the place. What they're doing is they're taking them to school, and the teachers and all the schools are making up a fuss about it. But really, it comes down to the why are the schools in the beginning allowing these phones to come into the schools? Really, isn't it?
It's true. It's a complicated issue. What are the rights? What are the responsibilities? There's so many variables that I don't know if there is a right answer.
Right, but there's got to be so what's right or wrong? What is right or wrong? Is it should we let our children take our mobile phones to school and say, okay, you get on with it. Then next minute, kind of like they're in class on their mobile phones, and all of a sudden, when their exams come around 6 months later down the line, they your child kind of does not do well, so you start having to go at them. You know, you know what I'm getting at.
Oh, totally, totally, because they're distracted by their phones, so they're not paying attention to the teacher and the lessons and whatnot, so they're going to fail their classes. Well, guess what? That's time for personal responsibility as a kid. If you're old enough to have a phone, you're old enough to know what your rights and responsibilities are, and if you don't want to pay attention and you want to fail your class, well, too bad for you.
Yeah, yeah. But why? I just don't understand it because people are moaning about it and they're saying about the children. But see, I don't mind. I don't mind kind of like children going to school with their mobile phones. One, when they're in class, turn it off. Secondly, dinner time, have a break. You can put it back on again. Then when you go on, put it on. Then you know what I mean.
Totally.
Um, but someone else is arguing. Someone on the radio now. I've got somebody on the radio now. Claire, she's saying, "Hi, Steve. I can understand what you're trying to say, totally. But at the end of the day, what would happen if I got sick and and I need to contact my child? Well, I'm not trying to be funny, Claire, but at the end of the day, you know the school phone number, so you can you need to give them a ring. You know, that's my opinion. And But I think they shouldn't have phones in school, and and that's my opinion too. So, um, Craig says, Shawn, what do you think about this? Because at the end of the day, what would happen if you had a child and your child was at school and all of a sudden he was trying to contact you in an emergency?
Well, in a case like that, I would be glad that he has his phone because I do have a school age child. He's 15. Um, he's not the best for communicating at the best of times, but I am assuming in an emergency that he would. So that'd be good. It would be handy, probably faster than going to the office and using the school phone. So it's good that he has it, but he shouldn't be using it for non-emergency purposes.
Yeah, yeah. But so what I'm trying to say, this is what happened in Florida. There was a certain school in Florida, and what happened was they were cheating on their phones doing their exams.
And that's why they should be put away.
Yeah. Okay. So next minute, the teachers turned around and said, "Well, they were cheating and was cheating." Then then another kind of someone else came in and said, "Well, why did you let them use them in the exams for anyway?" And the excuse was, this is what the excuse was, that it was down to calculating their maths. They needed calculators.
Well, they could use regular calculators. They don't need a phone for that.
No, they don't, do they? So do you know what I'm getting at? So it's and I'm thinking, well, it's messed up. It's kind of like I don't know, I don't understand.
No, and a kid doesn't need a phone to be cheating. I went to school before the invention of cell phones, and I cheated just fine without it. Whether I wrote it on my hand so I could see what some of the answers were, whether it was in the back of the calculator on a little piece of paper. If I
Yeah,
needed
yeah, yeah, yeah,
if I needed something, I would use it. Not that I did
yeah.
very often, but occasionally you just can't remember something and you have to write it down. So
Of
I
course,
didn't have a
yeah.
phone.
I used to write it in the back of my book.
Yeah, see, there you go. There's always options. Kids are going to cheat no matter what the technology is.
Yeah, yeah. The trouble is, see, let me get on to about let's get on to on about the other things as well with mobile phones like porn and everything else. I like the dog. I love the
He's very
dog.
distracting.
Yeah, yeah.
He sees himself. Hey, you see yourself, eh? Yes, you do.
Oh yeah, about kind of like porn or and other subjects like that because a lot of youngsters these days they kind of explore different sites. It's like gambling or kind of like porn or whatever. What do you think about that?
Well, back in the non-technology days, we used to find dirty magazines in the bush. So you're going to find it no matter what.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah,
shouldn't have it in school, though. That's for sure.
yeah. But they do. They put it on their phones.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not a kid nowadays, and I'm glad I'm not a teacher as well. That's what I've got to say about that.
Okay. Um. So and they also use their phones for bullying. What do you say about that?
For bullying,
Yeah.
oh, probably if somebody sends somebody their boyfriend a picture, and then they break up, and the picture gets sent around, and then all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's bad. There's always bullying. Um, Kids are very resilient and they're very smart and they're going to find a way to bully you no matter what. Like I got bullied before and we didn't have phones. There was always different ways of doing it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was. We didn't even have phones when I was at school. So
Exactly.
it was. It just all came in about a couple of years later when I left. Um. But the trouble is, though, how can we kind of like can we make it even when at school? Can we kind of like say, okay, you can use your phone at a certain time, and um, and at a certain time you can't.
Maybe 5 minutes at the end of class, after at the end of each course, wrap it up early and give them 5 minutes to contact whoever they need to contact. Maybe, or
Right.
maybe just at lunch. I don't know. Recess at
Yeah,
lunch, whatever. A
yeah.
designated time, just not all the time.
No, you don't. I don't think it needs to be kind of like used all the time, or does it?
No, definitely not. No, it's not
No,
necessary.
no, no.
These students have been
Yeah,
phoning.
yeah. Um, how about when someone kind of like well, at school using a mobile phone, and we covered it just now, and they're cheating. Now, do you think that's acceptable to do that?
To cheat with your phone?
Yeah,
Well, it's not acceptable, and it's wrong, and it's morally reprehensible. But you're not going to stop anybody from cheating, whether it's with a phone or a folded up piece of paper or writing it on your hand or whispering in class. Cheating and bullying are never going away, unfortunately.
yeah. So do you? How come? Is it a way we can stop it or not?
If there was, I think we would have done so by now.
Are we afraid to?
Probably.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
there's always something to be afraid of, whether it's lobby groups or teacher groups or parent groups or who knows what kind of group. But it's always going to be that way.
yeah. Let's watch this video.
Phone free in the classroom and the schoolyard for almost 2 years.
And tell me, about what age were you when you got your mobile phone?
The ban on devices during study and playtime encountered some initial pushback.
We all had our doubts at first, and there were students who tried to rebel against the system, and so a lot of phones were taken away.
But the results were immediate.
We noticed this growing noise in the yard, and when you actually looked around, what it was that students were actually talking, laughing, and engaging with each other.
A tremendous improvement because we're not distracted by notifications, so we're more focused in class.
From next year, the policy will be enforced in all 800 public primary and high schools in WA.
Making sure our students are focused on learning whilst they're in the classroom and focus on having fun and talking and playing whilst they're at lunch break or recess.
The ban will extend to smartwatches, earbuds, tablets and headphones unless students are under the instruction of a staff member. Exemptions will apply to students with special circumstances, including those with health conditions. It's a change of heart for a minister who previously opposed a blanket ban. She says it's less about cyberbullying, which usually happens outside school hours, and more about teaching a habit.
You can be off social media for an extended period of time, and the sky isn't going to fall down and the world isn't going to end.
Bans are already in place in many private schools. The Federal Education Minister wants the policy enforced in all states and territories. Frances Bell, ABC News.
Mm. What do you think about that then?
I like it. As long as they can enforce it, and there's a few exceptions here and there for leniency, I think that's great. And even the kids seem to agree with it. So I think if you just discuss it properly, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. On another subject, let me get away from banning from schools. I want to talk about there's a big subject going on at the moment where you come from about the new president.
Oh,
US president.
no, I'm in Canada. I'm not in the US.
Oh, right, okay. But I want to talk about the US president at the moment. What was that?
The dog is making some weird noises. You all right there, little buddy? Yeah, I guess he's okay.
All right, okay.
Told you
Yeah.
he's very distracting.
Is he? Yeah. What do you think about the old kind of like Donald Trump thing a while back?
Well, I'm glad he's gone because he
Yeah.
he was a good example of the worst kind of human being out there. So, bye-bye.
Yeah. Goodbye. Yeah. What? When you kind of so you want definitely you want a Trump fan then?
Definitely not.
No, definitely.
No.
So when you do your podcast, what do you talk about?
All kinds of different subjects. There's let's see. Well, let me just pull up the quick launch app here, and I'll tell you what the last episode was. I tried yoga. That was the last episode. Yeah, I was at my brother's house, and he said, "Take your clothes off," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Just do it. Put on these shorts and this shirt, and we're gonna go try yoga." I'm like, "Okay." So we talked about that, and before that, I talked to him and his wife about the success of their marriage.
All right.
And then the week before was all about the little puppy here and how we just got him. So
All right.
topics are very wide open. Almost anything goes.
Yeah. So how did you get your puppy? Let's talk about your puppy then.
Sure.
Because you keep showing us your puppy. Tell
Yes,
us about
because
your puppy.
he's very needy. His name is Nimoy, named after Leonard Nimoy, and he played Spock on Star Trek. And we got him on Leonard Nimoy's birthday as well, March 26th. And he likes to bite my fingers, as you can see. And he was born February 3rd. And he's a micro teacup Yorkie. And he's not going to get much bigger than this.
So you can put him in your handbag then, or your wife can.
Yeah, pretty much. We haven't yet, but I'm sure we could. He likes to struggle. He likes to sleep right up here on my shoulder a lot of the times at night, just like this here. And he's hilarious, and he likes to chew on everything.
Yeah. So what's it like to have a puppy in the house with with children around as well? Do the children like him?
It's a lot. It's a lot because we already had a 2-year-old golden doodle.
All right.
And the daughter said that she wanted a lap dog, so the mom went and found one, and we got this guy. And I always said I would never get a dog because they had a dog before I met them. And we went and visited him, and I'm like, oh, he's so cute, and I fell in love immediately. And I said, okay, we can get him, but I get to name him.
Yeah. So where did you get your dog to then?
Just here in town.
All right. Was it like a shelter or anything?
No, it was people who purposely bred them. They had a couple already, so
that's all right.
Mm-hmm. And he could be a sweetheart, but he could also bite your face. So
right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or bite you? Does he bite your nose?
No, he licks my nose and bites my beard.
You probably don't like your beard. That's why, Shawn.
I don't know. He's the cutest little thing ever, but he's a handful.
Yeah. Does he so he's not going to get any bigger then?
Maybe slightly, because he's only 2.5 months old. I think he's 2 pounds, and they said he can get up to 4 pounds, so not too much bigger than this.
Gosh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's but he's nice, isn't he? He's cute.
Oh, he's cute. He's got the cutest little face. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you put him in a parcel and send him to us?
Maybe. Do you want to go? Do you want to go for a ride? No, maybe.
He'll probably bite the box.
He would definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Saying about dogs, you've had dogs before then?
I've never had a puppy before, so this is new. This is new. I've had dogs or been with people who had dogs, and we had dogs when I was growing up, but I don't ever remember the puppy stage. So it's a lot of work, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of peeing in the house, but we're working on it.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you got to train and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, got to constantly be on him, but he's getting there.
Yeah. That's good. Thanks, Shawn, for the chat. That's really good.
Anytime.
And yeah, brilliant. And I love your dog. I'm jealous. I need to get one now.
You totally should get one. They're the cutest.
Yeah, they are. Shawn, thank you very much, and see you next time.
See you next time. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There you go. That was Shawn, and with his little puppy, and okay, that was very good. Okay then, thank you very much. Bye-bye.